Welcome to Gus Tech. Do you want to pwn noobs like Olaf Meister and JW? Well, now you can with Fnatic gaming gear. Welcome to Gus Tech with Fnatic gaming gear. Most of you know Fnatic like I know Fnatic, which is a European gaming organization that has done great things in esports, both in Counter-Strike as the best team in the world for a number of years, Dota, very top level, League of Legends, all the different games that you love, Fnatic has been involved with them. Well, they decided a little while back that they're tired of just pwning noobs and they want to pwn your computers. And they decided to acquire a company that you may know, because I've talked about it before, known as Funk Industries. That's F-U-N-C Industries. Funk is awesome. Made the original greatest mouse pad in the world, in my opinion anyway. And they also made mice, keyboards, things of that nature. I use their mouse. I think it's one of the greatest things ever. Well, Fnatic went in and said, you guys don't really do great business, but we do. So we're going to acquire you guys and we're going to label your stuff and say we're Fnatic. And it really is some of the best gaming gear out there. Today, we're going to look at it and see if it's worth your buy. Let's start off with unboxing some of this stuff here. Obviously, we have their mouse pad. It's big. See, can you see my face? You can't because it's behind this big mouse pad. It's big and it's hard. It's just a nice mouse pad. Nothing really that great and special about it because mouse pads have all kind of been uniform ever since, 6 years ago. Regardless, it's big, it's nice, it'll do well. Let's get into the unboxing of the mouse and the keyboard. The keyboard is called the Rush G1. It is a mechanical keyboard. You can get it in different key switches. We have today a MX Red, Cherry MX Red. Let's get it opened up here. Just pull off the tab and unveil the gorgeousness. Look at that. You see that? Oh yeah, you see that. That's pretty good looking. You know you like that. We have our quick manual that just tells you to go online and use your brain. Let's pull out the keyboard itself. Got our little foamy pads. We don't need those. Won't need me needing that. And let's get the box out of the way. I think that's empty. Yep. All right. Beautiful box. We don't want it. All right. This is your wrist guard. We'll get to that in a second. So we pull out the keyboard and it has a really cool looking matte finish on the board itself. So you can see the keys, they're not really bad keys. They're going to be the same as like what's on a poker keyboard or a DOS keyboard. They're nice keys. They're not the greatest in the world. Whatever. The soft touch plastic mat, though, is really nice. It does give it a really premium feel. Problem is, if you're like me and you're kind of fat, it's going to be prone to staining, as these are. So you have to wipe it off, keep it cleaner than you would, like a Corsair keyboard that's probably not going to show much of your fatness. It does come with a nice long cable. This is it all wrapped up, 4 different times over, but it's long. It goes very far, and I don't think you'd have any extension issues with that. It does also have 2 USB ports right here. You can plug in your mouse to it and your headset if you use a USB headset and you're weird, or if you have anything else that you want to plug into it, controller, whatever it is. It is backlit. We're going to show you that in a second, but overall the construction is nice. It has little clips here to bring it out and have it sit up the way it should. And yeah, overall it's an impressive build quality for a keyboard that's really not that expensive, especially a mechanical keyboard. Let's look at the wrist guard real quick. Wrist guard has the same soft touch plastic as you can see. It has that kind of matte finish, no reflection to it. It does, like I said, get dirty and grimy and will get oily even if you don't have oily hand or oily fingers, because your hands normally are going to have oil on them because you're a human being. So let's get these plugged in here. These little guys just sit right inside of the keyboard. It's pretty easy to put them on there. And you want them to be facing up. You want the teeth part to be facing up. Once you have those in there, stick the keyboard down, find where they go, the grooves, and pops into place. And then you can see it'll it'll fall apart. Oh, that's fantastic.
I don't think you put it on right. You need to make sure it pushes in the grooves more.
All right. So that was user error. It was from Brock's telling me anyway. We're just sitting here having a great time. We are Gus Tech, highly professional grade. Okay, so as you can see, it does sit in there. The nice thing is these clips are really easy to get in and out. You can take this wrist guard off in a flash, which, you know, Corsair's been notorious at like putting screws in there for some reason. And there's other companies that do the same thing where it's really hard to get them off. It doesn't really, there's a little gap that you can see. And I don't love that gap, but you're not going to notice it. It's just something that when you're doing an evaluation and you're really being meticulous about it, you're going to see it. But again, not every day. So the wrist guard is nice. It does fit really well on your wrist. And overall, seems like a comfortable keyboard. We're going to get to plugging it in here in a minute. Let's get to the mouse first. So off with this. Now let's put it to the side. Whatever, we'll do something. All right. Who needs instructions? This is the Fnatic Flick. If you want to flick like JW, like I do. I flick like, if you guys want to watch this, by the way, I am on Twitch every week, Wednesday night, and sometimes YouTube Gaming if I can get my Nginx server to work again. Who knows? But if you want to flick shot like Gus Tech, or way better than me because I'm not very good, you can do that. Here it is. And oh, let's take a look at the packaging in case you're really curious. Ta-da! Okay, whatever. One thing I noted immediately about this mouse, we have another one that we were looking at earlier, the cord isn't very long. It's not like short, but it does seem like they were probably intending for you to plug this into your keyboard. I mean, this is actually not as long as the keyboard cord itself. I mean, it's my arm length, so that's about 6 feet. That's it. There's a lot now that are 10 feet, 12 feet, so I don't hate it, but I like to have mine plugged directly into my motherboard because I'm a weirdo and I think that matters, although it probably doesn't. Now, like I said, this is the same mouse that Funk has had for a while, and they only have this version of the mouse. Now, this version of the mouse is the skinnier one, right? And it fits just like a Naga, Razer Naga, or a lot of the old Logitech mice. I don't really dislike it. I like the wider fit ones, but I'm told anyway that they might be coming out with those later. We don't know yet. For right now, this is what we have, and this is a good mouse. This is an optical sensor, so you're not going to have the laser guiding issues. And it has a premium feel, that same soft touch plastic. It's a little bit more glossy on the outside, so it's going to hide your oily hands a bit better. But it is still soft touch, and it's extremely light. I mean, very light. So if lightness is an issue for you, if you like the Corsair, I weigh 100 pounds mice, this may not be the best thing for you, but honestly, I recommend you give it a shot because a lighter mouse really is better for most applications, even though you may not think it. All right, so let's take a look at the mouse and keyboard in action. We have these plugged into actually a Windows 10 phone, so we don't have the full versatility of the desktop, but they all do the same thing. This has the mouse, which is very nice. The Flick has a drag reduction cable, and I kind of thought it was gimmicky and BS, but I've actually been feeling it, and it really does. It feels like it would just glide really smoothly on a table. We haven't used it a ton, so I can't tell you whether or not it does that, but it seems to be the same. The claim is correct. You can see it does have an RGB on the mouse wheel only. And that's the same as Fnatic stuff in the past, or the Funk stuff in the past, excuse me. And, it's just a basic mouse. It's got the 2 buttons on the side, it's got your 2 primary buttons on top, and it's got a DPI switcher on the top here that just cycles through your DPI. You can't go up and down, but really you don't need to go up and down because most mice only support like 3 different or 4 different DPIs. So you just cycle through them. This obviously does have software that you can customize these things. You can customize each one of these buttons to do what you want them to do. If you want this to be like your, secret browser tab button, you can do that. That's weird. And let's look at the keyboard. The keyboard only comes with a black backlight, which it's cool, whatever. I meant red, not black. It's not really the brightest backlight in the world. You really can't see it super well in the camera, and that's because it's not the brightest thing you're ever going to see in your life. However, you can change it to be dimmer, which you can do by pressing the FN button and the little dimmer switch here. there's the light completely off, and it looks weird because these are like see-through keys and they're supposed to be lit. Or you can turn it all the way up and it begins to pulse. It pulses red like a demonic heart. You can see there's backlighting for each individual key. There's also backlighting for the space bar. These are individually backlit. Great, right? You have all your little controls up here for your macros, 1 through 5. You also have a Fnatic button, which I don't know what it does. I think if you push it, it might blow up your computer. Don't do that. Don't blow up your computer. Maybe it does sound nothing. I don't know. But there's a Fnatic button. Maybe it summons Olaf. Or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, overall, this is a great keyboard. And playing around with it, it uses Cherry switches. So it's going to feel like any other Cherry keyboard out there. And really what you're buying when you get a Fnatic Gear gaming keyboard is you're buying a no BS keyboard that just has the right parts. Same thing with their mouse, same thing with their mouse pad. You're getting stuff that just works. No embellishments, you don't have mechanical buttons on your mouse or some BS like that. It's real simple. You have stuff that is no BS gaming. And I love that because I feel like in the gaming world, we get all sorts of these ridiculous embellishments that we don't need. And really, we just want performance. So we have an optical sensor in this, which is the best you can get. Great switches. I've used my Funk mouse for over a year, never had an issue. And you have Cherry MX switches in the keyboard. They last for like literally ever. And build quality seems like it's all there. I can definitely recommend both these products, the keyboard and the mouse. And the mouse pad, in my opinion, is really nice. Now, you do have to keep in mind, it is a hard mouse pad, so you may not necessarily love that yourself. But again, we're talking about this is coming from a company that was the king of mouse pads. They knew more about mouse pads than anybody. So it's nice, it's flat, sits right on your desk, super thin, and super portable in my opinion too. Now, a lot of these products, you're going to have a really hard time finding them because Fnatic just released these. It's kind of a brand new deal, and we want to thank them for sending us these units. Obviously, we are big fans of gaming gear, and it's really nice to have gaming gear that isn't just totally ridiculous. So, check it out. We think you're going to like it. Fnatic has really done an excellent job moving into the peripherals business. Most gaming companies that have done it in the past crashed and burned and did really stupid marketing deals and, like the fatality, whatever, and they all, whatever. This is real stuff. This is good stuff. This is Fnatic gear and Fnatic really knowing what they're looking at when they're getting good peripherals. I can definitely recommend these. If you want to purchase anything that you've seen in this video today that we've used for shooting these videos or whatever else, make sure you click the link in the description below. It leads to our Amazon affiliate. And even if you're buying something else, if you go through that affiliate link, it goes back to supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. It allows us to shoot more videos like this. Thumbs up if you like the video. Leave a comment if you have any questions, concerns, or just want to be heard. Obviously, we'd love to hear back from you guys. And make sure you subscribe for more content like this. We are GusTech, and we'll see you next time.